In case you haven't heard the news that Elon Musk is considering buying Dungeons & Dragons, let me recap it really quickly for you. The book The Making of Original Dungeons & Dragons 1970 to 1977 was released, and in it there were like 4 paragraphs or something mentioning that Gary Gygax, among other things, was kinda sexist. Which, by the way, is true. And for some reason, of all people, Elon Musk responded. He tweeted, I'm sorry, X'd this post, which I can only describe as the tantrum of a man-child. I mean, just read it out loud and try not to sound like a child stomping its foot while doing so. And after some random person brought up that D&D is getting way too woke or something, which, by the way, it is not, Musk replied with, "How much is Hasbro?" Which is a bit weird because he obviously forgot to post the eyes emoji. Anyway, he's obviously hinting at buying Hasbro. But is this even something you should be concerned about? And the short answer is no. Because, first of all, who would buy a company for billions of dollars just because of some kind of shitpost on Twitter? I mean, can you imagine a world like that? And secondly, and that is the much more important point, it doesn't matter who owns Hasbro, or who buys the rights to Dungeons & Dragons, or whoever the hell says that D&D is too woke, or whatever stroke of genius someone tweets into the void of the internet while sitting on the toilet. And it doesn't matter because that won't stop us from playing the game we all love so much. And honestly, why would it? The rules are out in the open for anyone to use as they want to. All of those old D&D books collecting dust on your shelf, you'll still be able to use them, no matter what. It's not like Elon is going to kick down your door and rip them from your hands. And if you don't have a shelf of dusty tomes and instead prefer to use a digital product, well, you have the PDFs. Good reason to actually buy PDFs instead of getting into a subscription service, by the way. So yeah, you can continue using the old rules no matter who releases the new stuff. And that's not even all. Some might find it hard to believe, but there are actually role-playing games out there that are not Dungeons & Dragons. For example, Pathfinder, which is basically the same as D&D anyway, and if you disagree, find it out in the comment section. And it's not just Pathfinder either. There are a plethora of games like D&D, and some of them are even free. And if Musk buys D&D and Pathfinder at the same time, you can still play stuff like Dragonbane, Care, Knave, and I don't know, maybe Dungeon World. There are more cool indie RPGs out there that are made by people who actually put their heart into this hobby than I can even count. And with both of my hands, I can count to at least 10. So you really don't have to support any big corporation if you don't want to. And if for some reason none of those games are for you, which I find really hard to believe, absolutely nothing is stopping you from just making your own game. You can even use D&D roles to do that. And yes, this is legal. WotC released parts of their product for anyone to use freely. It's called the SRD or System Reference Document, published under the OGL, which you might remember from past outrages. This basically allows you to make whatever you want under this license. No matter if it's an adventure, a new subclass, NPCs, or even create your own RPG system that's kinda D&D adjacent. I'll obviously put a link to it in the description. It's right next to the like and subscribe buttons. And making up your own stuff, no matter if it's homebrewing or making rulings where they are necessary, is a time-honored tradition in D&D anyway. I bet there are some among you who as a kid just went to the local library, read the D&D books they had and copied the character sheets with a pen and paper, only to play your own version of D&D at home from what you remembered from those books, which is probably not exactly what was in there. So yeah, D&D ultimately belongs to the community, and it doesn't matter who buys Hasbro. It also doesn't matter whatever is published in the new books. At your own table you can play however you like. Don't like the new stuff? Don't use it. Like the new stuff? It's yours now. And what I highly recommend, get physical books to put into your bookshelf. Or get PDFs and save them onto your hard drive. Those are yours. If you want to buy into a subscription service, that's totally fine. Your money, your choice. But renting is not the same as owning. And it's ultimately your decision if we want to own role-playing as a community or if you want to rent the right to roleplay from a big corporation. And maybe try out some other RPGs every now and then. It can't hurt to broaden your horizon. There are great things you can learn from checking out other games and incorporating those ideas into your D&D games. I, for example, have learned a lot for my own style of GMing by running Dungeon World and other PBTA games. And even though I haven't run one of those in years, I still use some of their principles in every single game I run nowadays. Even the OSR games I run. And I don't care that some people think that stuff doesn't go together. It's my table. Anyway, continue enjoying this great hobby however you like and don't pay too much attention to what Elon Musk tweets. In fact, that's a real-life pro tip outside of the hobby as well. And maybe don't use the shitty platform formerly known as Twitter to begin with. Enough of me rambling. Until next time, and enjoy your games however you like and have a great week.